Okay, so have you ever had that feeling? Like the day's just getting away from you and your to-do list is, well, it's just laughing at you.
I think everyone has felt that way at some point. And the crazy thing is, it's not just in our heads, you know?
Right.
We've been looking at some data that shows the average person wastes like 3 hours every day because of distractions.
3 hours? Seriously?
Yeah, it's a lot, right? Basically, it's like half a workday just gone.
Wow, that's kind of scary when you put it like that. If you think about it over an entire year, that's like 45 days. Poof, vanished.
Just imagine what you could do with an extra month and a half each year.
I know, right? Like learn something new, finally get around to that project, actually relax for once.
Exactly. The cool thing is, some MIT researchers think we can actually get a lot of that time back. Like, they say maybe even 80%.
80%. Now that would be incredible.
Yeah, it's a huge opportunity.
Definitely. So that's what we are focusing on in this deep dive. We're going to figure out how to go from feeling totally overwhelmed to being like, you know, mega productive, like 10x more productive, as they say.
That's the goal. And it's not about working longer hours, it's more about using your time and energy better. We found 7 strategies in our sources that we'll dig into today.
Perfect.
Mm.
Before we jump into the how-to, maybe we should understand, like, what's actually eating up all our time?
Yeah, good point. In the research we've been looking at, they call them hidden thieves. And I have to say, that name really fits.
It does. Okay, so what's the first one of these thieves?
The first one is what they call reactive mode. It's basically when you're always responding to whatever pops up instead of focusing on what you should be doing. You know, like your phone buzzes, you check it instantly, an email comes in, you got to answer it right away. It's like you're constantly on the defense.
Oh, yeah, I know that feeling. It's like you're just bouncing from one urgent thing to the next all day long. And at the end of the day, you're exhausted but haven't really gotten anything important done.
Exactly. And then that kind of leads to the second time thief. It's called attention fragmentation.
Okay, so what is that?
Well, it's basically what happens when you're always getting interrupted. You know, like you're trying to focus, but then boom, phone notification. And it takes a lot of mental energy to get back on track every time that happens.
Yeah, I can totally see that. It's like trying to read a good book and someone keeps interrupting you every few minutes. You lose your place,
Right.
and then you have to get back into it, and
Right, you lose your flow.
exactly. Okay, what's the third thief?
The third one's kind of interesting. It's actually a well-known concept called Parkinson's law.
Parkinson's law. I've heard of that, but I don't really remember what it is. Remind me.
So Parkinson's law basically says that work will always expand to fill the time you give it.
Hmm.
So like if you give yourself a whole day to do something you could probably finish in a few hours, well, guess what? It'll take you the whole day.
Ah, I get it. It's the deadline that pushes you, not how efficiently you work.
Exactly.
Okay, so now we know what we're up against. Constant distractions, attention problems, and that tendency to stretch out work. So how do we fight back?
Well, that's what these 7 strategies are for. Let's start with the first one, the MIT 90-minute sprint.
90-minute sprint. That sounds intense.
It is all about focus. You know how our brains kind of have these natural energy cycles throughout the day?
Oh, like feeling super productive in the morning and then kind of crashing in the afternoon.
Exactly. Well, these cycles, they're called ultradian rhythms, and they last about 90 minutes. The idea is to match your work to these cycles. So you work super focused for 90 minutes, and then you take a break, like 20, 30 minutes to recharge before the next sprint.
So instead of pushing through when you're tired, you're working with your natural energy levels. And that supposedly can double your output.
That's what the research suggests. You're making the most of those high focus periods instead of trying to force it when your brain just isn't there.
Makes sense. All right, what about strategy number 2?
Strategy number 2 is the Eisenhower matrix. It's all about figuring out what to focus on first.
The Eisenhower matrix. That rings a bell. What's that all about again?
It's a simple but powerful way to prioritize your tasks. You basically divide everything into 4 categories. So you've got things that are urgent and important. Those are the do it now tasks. Then there's things that are important but not urgent. You want to schedule those in for later.
Got it. So you don't let those important things fall through the cracks just because they're not urgent.
Exactly. And then there's stuff that's urgent but not important. Those are often distractions you can maybe delegate to someone else. And finally, there's the things that are neither urgent nor important. Those you just get rid of.
It's like decluttering your to-do list.
Yeah, exactly. It helps you focus on what truly matters. Okay, ready for strategy number 3. This one is used by some seriously busy people. Like apparently Elon Musk is a fan of this one. Time blocking.
Oh, time blocking. I've heard of that.
Yeah.
Isn't that where you, like, schedule everything in your calendar?
Pretty much. It's more than just having a to-do list. You actually block out specific time slots for each task. Some people even schedule in 5-minute increments.
Wow, 5 minutes. That sounds intense.
It can be, but you don't have to be that detailed. You can start simpler, like blocking out 3 solid chunks of time each day for your most important work.
That sounds more manageable.
Yeah.
So instead of just saying, I need to get that report done today,
Yeah.
you actually block out, say, 90 minutes this morning and another hour this afternoon specifically for that report.
Exactly. It makes it much more likely to actually happen. Okay, strategy number 4 is super simple. The 2-minute rule.
2-minute rule. Okay, tell me more about this one.
It's easy peasy. If something takes less than 2 minutes to do, you do it right away. No delaying, no putting it on a list, just get it done.
It sounds too simple to be effective.
I know, right? But it works because all those tiny tasks, like answering a quick email, filing a document, they can really pile up and make you feel overwhelmed. If you just knock them out immediately, they don't have a chance to build up.
I see. It's like those little things don't even get a chance to become a problem.
Exactly. Okay, number 5 is the weekly time audit. This one is about really understanding where your time goes.
Okay, how does that work?
So for a whole week, you track what you do every 30 minutes. Like literally write it down.
So every half hour you're writing down what you did. That does sound a bit tedious.
It can be, yeah.
Yeah.
But the payoff is you find out where you're wasting time without even realizing it. You know, like
Yeah.
you think you're being productive, but then you realize you spent an hour on social media.
It's all about being honest with yourself, right?
Definitely. No fudging the time log. Okay, number 6 is interesting. The 5-second rule. This one comes from Mel Robbins.
A 5-second rule. Is this about food dropping on the floor?
No. This is about beating procrastination. So when you know you should be doing something important, you count down from 5 to 1 and then just start doing it. No thinking, just action.
So it's like tricking your brain into action before it can talk you out of it.
That's the idea. It's about breaking that cycle of inaction. And finally, number 7, energy matching.
Okay, what's this one about?
This one is all about working smarter by paying attention to your natural energy levels throughout the day. You know, we have those natural highs and lows.
So like some people are morning people and some are night owls.
Exactly. So the idea is to schedule your hardest tasks for when you have the most energy. If you're a morning person, that's when you tackle the big projects. If you're more productive at night, that's when you do your deep thinking.
And during those low energy times, you can do things that don't require as much brain power.
Exactly. It's about working with your body, not against it. So that's all 7 strategies.
Wow, okay. That's a lot to digest. But I do like how they all seem pretty doable. You know, like you don't have to change your entire life at once.
Exactly. In fact, the source material we looked at has this great example of a woman named Sarah who managed to transform her work life using just 3 of these strategies.
Oh, tell me about that.
So Sarah was working crazy hours, like 12 hours a day, but she felt like she was always behind, you know. So she decided to try time blocking, energy matching, and those weekly time audits we talked about.
Okay, and what happened? Did it work?
It totally did. By making those changes, she was able to cut her workday down to 6 hours.
6 hours, that's half the time.
Right. And not only that, but she actually doubled her output.
Wow, that's amazing.
It really shows you how powerful these strategies can be. You can get more done in less time if you're smart about it.
Definitely. So for all of you listening, if you're feeling overwhelmed and like you never have enough time, what's the first step you should take?
Just pick one strategy. Don't try to do everything at once. Just choose the one that you think will help you the most and commit to trying it out.
Yeah, think about what's really causing you the most stress. Is it distractions? Then maybe the 2-minute rule is your best bet, feeling like you're always putting out fires. Maybe the Eisenhower matrix can help.
And there's also a resource mentioned in our sources called the Time Mastery Checklist. We can't link it here, but you can probably find it online. It's supposed to be really helpful for putting these strategies into practice.
I love the idea that we have the power to create more time in our lives.
Me too. It's not about finding time, it's about making time. And speaking of making time, our next deep dive is going to be all about creating the perfect morning routine.
That's a good one. I think we could all use some help in that department.
Definitely. So until then, think about which of those hidden time thieves is stealing the most time from you. And imagine how different your life could be if you got even a little bit of that time back.
It's something worth thinking about for sure.
It is. All right. Catch you next time.
See you then.